Michella Chester here with NCAA Digital. I am joined by Shannon Scovel today, our NCAA.com wrestling reporter, expert in all things wrestling. Shannon, thanks so much for joining me. The wrestling season is just about back. You broke down your 5 biggest storylines for this year, a lot of unique ones. The biggest one in particular is that there are 10 returning champions for this year. Such a unique situation that will make for a year absolutely loaded with talent. But what do you think that will mean for this year in your opinion?
Yeah, thanks. This is going to be such an exciting wrestling season. As you mentioned, we have all 10 returning champs, which is a unique thing because of that COVID year of extra eligibility. So we're headlined by Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson at Minnesota coming back to wrestle for the Gophers again at heavyweight. So he'll be a big star to watch. You won't want to miss him. He always puts on a show, and he loves the spotlight, so he's certainly a guy to watch. Then we have Spencer Lee, who's chasing his 4th NCAA title. He's hoping to be just the 5th wrestler to ever achieve that feat. And he'll do it leading the returning champions of the Iowa Hawkeyes, and they've got a loaded lineup full of talent, and they'll be looking to put as many people on the podium as possible in March. But their biggest rivals, Penn State, they're coming back with 4 champions. You've got Nick Lee at 141, Ramon Bravo Young at 133, Carter Sirachi at 174, and Aaron Brooks at 184. So really a strong Penn State team that pushed Iowa tremendously last year, and I don't think they were expected to do as well as they did in March, but that's what Penn State does. They always find a little extra at the end. So they pushed hard for that team trophy and came up just short in 2nd place, but they'll be coming for the Hawkeyes again this year. So those 2 teams will absolutely be a rivalry to follow.
Yeah, Shannon, Penn State and Iowa, 1st and 2nd last season. Do you expect them to be the front runners this year, or what do you expect there? And how will the returning champions, there's a lot of rivalries there, I expect.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'll see NCAA finals types matches in the dual season when Penn State competes against Iowa on January 28th in Carver Hawkeye. So that will be a duel you won't want to miss. Competing against those NCAA champions from Penn State, as I mentioned, you'll have Iowa's Jaden Ironman at 141. He's coming back for his 7th collegiate season. So between redshirts and COVID extra eligibility, he really wants to bring home a national championship for himself in this final year. And his teammate Michael Kemmer also returning for his 7th collegiate season. So those 2 veterans will be part of that star-studded Iowa team. And then, we've got other returning champions outside of Penn State. A team to watch will certainly be Michigan. Stefan Micic coming back for his 8th collegiate season, and he is actually fresh off the Olympics. So he'll be a guy to watch. And his teammate Miles Amin took bronze in the Olympics. So between the 2 of them, Michigan you won't want to miss. And then, of course, which I'm sure we'll get to, the return of the Ivies. And they're coming back with a stacked squad, both Princeton and Cornell. And they want to make sure that they are putting points on the board to contend for a team trophy in March.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some other names, though, we should be talking about. Shane Griffith, for one, at Stanford is one I definitely want to hear your opinion on. He practically saved the program at Stanford. What do you expect from him this year?
Oh, that was one of the most incredible stories of 2021. He comes into the NCAA tournament seeded 8th after taking his only varsity collegiate loss to Anthony Valencia in the Pac-12 tournament. He comes in, he's not in a great position in the bracket, but that doesn't matter to Shane. He just rolls through all of the competition, wins the weight class at 165, and then wins most outstanding wrestler of the tournament. He does it all in an all-black singlet protest of Stanford cutting those sports, and then he gets in front of the microphone on ESPN, and he speaks for his entire university. And I just talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he was so poised in that moment. He was calm, he was collected, and he spoke with such maturity and confidence. And that moment, putting Stanford on that stage, it really did wonders to bring back not only the wrestling team, but many of the other cut sports. So he's certainly someone to watch. And his whole team, the adversity that they went through in 2020, 2021 with COVID restrictions and not being able to use their facilities, both him and his All-American teammate Jaden Abbas will be stars to watch. And then you've got Real Woods in there, and he did not finish on the podium last year, but I would expect him to make a run for top 8 without a doubt this coming year.
Okay, so we've covered the Big Ten a lot. We've covered Stanford. What other programs or schools in particular are you excited for that could have some national contenders? And as we know, the Ivy coming back, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, the Ivies will return Yanni Diakomohalis, who just made his first senior world team. So he's competing in Oslo, Norway. Actually, right now, he's hoping to medal at 65 kilograms. So he'll be somebody to watch. He's got a teammate in 125-pounder Vito Rujal, who was an Olympic trials finalist. So he's going to be trying to chase down Spencer Lee for that 125-pound title, and that is a tall order. But Vito is certainly a savvy wrestler, capable of greatness. So he'll be somebody to watch. And then we've got Princeton and Pat Glory at 125 pounds. He also wants to crack at Spencer Lee. So that 125-pound bracket got a lot deeper this year with the return of the Ivies, and that's going to be a fun weight class for sure. But I'm also really excited about the ACC. We've been seeing the rise of NC State under head coach Pat Papalizio, and they'll be headlined by the Hidlay brothers and Hayden and Trent. And Trent at 184 pounds, he was a NCAA finalist against Aaron Brooks, and he pushed at Brooks quite a bit in that match. And so I expect him to be coming back stronger than ever. And then, of course, his brother Hayden jumping from 157 pounds to 174 pounds. Huge jump, but he is an undefeated ACC four-time champ in the conference. But he's looking for his first national title, and he's going to be entering a really deep weight class with Michael Kemmer. Makai Lewis is bumping up to 174. Of course, you've got Carter Starachi coming back. So Hidlay is going to be an interesting element in that weight class. But lots of excitement around NC State, and then, of course, ACC rivals Virginia Tech and North Carolina with returning champ Austin O'Connor. So lots of great things happening, even outside the Big Ten.
Absolutely. It seems like it's going to be a jam-packed year. So much talent that we have to look forward to. Really excited to watch it play out. Shannon, thank you so much for breaking it down today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.